How can you become a better driver on the road and feel less overwhelmed? I race cars and race go-karts for a living, and when I started driving on the road, I actually found it very difficult. Surprisingly, I'm a very good race car and go-karter driver, but surprisingly, I still found it difficult to manipulate myself around the road because there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of sensory overload. You got to focus on that. You got to focus on this. You got to focus on that. Where in a race car, it's a bit different because I'm actually on the limit of, I'm on the edge of driving. So my brain is really in tune with going very quick and thinking fast. Where say I'm going to park, I can't park. I suck at parking. I'm not that good. But when I'm on the limit, I can get every point exactly the same at the same time. So there is ways I've combated this, and I'm going to tell you these, I would say 2 or 3 ways of how I combated how to drive on the road and how to make you better on the road, because that's what we want. We want you to have a more comfortable time on the road, and we want you to be safe. That is the main thing. If you're not safe on the road, you might get into an accident. You might have a car crash. We don't want you having a car crash. So let's have a look at this first way. So the first way to start building your habits on the road is by going out, maybe buying a simulator, which is like a steering wheel and pedals. So pretty much I had that from when I was a kid, and I was driving on my video game for all hours of the day. So I developed some bad racing habits, but it got me to learn car control. It got me to learn how to turn and how to accelerate. So I'll put that on the screen and show you what that looks like, because I have one. One in Australia would probably cost you, if you were to buy one secondhand, probably about 50 to 200 bucks in that price range. But it is worth it, because the thing is, if you know you're not confident with driving, you could buy a game like Car Simulator, which simulates you driving on the road. So what you can do there is just play it every day, play it every day, play it every day. And the more you play it, the better you'll get, the more confident you'll get. And then when you go onto the road, that you would have developed those good habit driving skills. You would have developed how to drive just a bit better. So you'll be more confident, and the thing is, you're not putting yourself in that dangerous situation of, oh, just let's get straight behind the wheel and drive, which most people do, which I believe is dangerous. So the safest thing is get a steering wheel and pedals, something really cheap, and just do say laps on a racing game, or play Car Simulator, which simulates like being on the road, and then you'll get better at it. So the only problem with a simulator is it doesn't help you with depth perception. So you can't tell, okay, when do I need to brake? Oh, how far is that object? Oh, how far is this braking zone, for example? So the problem with that is you're not going to learn depth perception. So my second way of how to get better at driving is go to your local indoor go-kart track. So generally in Australia, that's about $35 to $30 for a 10-minute session. You could go there once a week. And if you just learn how to drive the go-kart, just look around, look ahead, look up. So don't be looking down. You want to be looking as far ahead as possible and just drive around. Usually most of the people at the go-kart track are really outgoing. You know, they don't get annoyed. So you want to make sure that you could do that every week. If you could do that every week, once a week, maybe once a month, that will develop your driving skills and your ability to control, say, a go-kart, which go-kart controllers will help you also for a car. So that's my second way. Obviously the third way, the most dangerous way, the way I wouldn't recommend, is go and just drive around and practice. So obviously the more you drive on the road, the better you'll get, but obviously it is overwhelming, especially if you're in peak hour, especially if it's very busy. So I would recommend just going through the side streets and maybe pick markers. So for example, you go, okay, we do a lap of the block, I will brake at this point, and this is where I'll stop. Say the person who's teaching you, what you could do, say it's your parents, to get you to learn depth perception is to stop and then you look where you are. So for example, if it's not busy, you'll park your car, right? Park your car where you are. Then you'll stop and have a look from the outside to give you a different perspective. And then you'll go, oh, right, that's how far I am. That's how far I'm sticking out of the T-junction. Or, oh, that's how far I'm up against the curb. Or, oh, okay, I'll start, this is where I can start braking. So that's another way of getting better. That's the third and final way to get better at driving, because it's a very hard subject. Autism and driving is very difficult, especially when you have those, like, look how much is going on right now. It's peak hour right now. You can't really see it, sorry, but pretty much there's just cars banked to the brim. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you watched this video. Subscribe to watch more of my educational content about autism. Thank you.